Hi, Christine. My name is Ellen, and I will be correcting this essay for you. I understand that you have taken IELTS before. You're doing great in all the other areas, but you're having some issues with writing. So let's take a look at your task 2 today, see if maybe we can get to the bottom of, why you might not be getting the score you need. All right. So let's just get straight into it. You wrote us about international marketing. I agree, it is a tricky topic. So let's see what you did. Some people say that global advertising is intrusive and is aggressively taking over whole parts of the world. Others are of the opinion that it is an easy and cheap way of communicating new concepts and teaching people different languages and culture. In this essay, we'll try and look at both sides of the argument. Okay, well, here's the good news. That was lovely. You rephrased, you used different language than what was in the prompt, and so all that was really very good. But there's one major problem, and just this alone might be enough to keep you from getting a 7. Take a look at, wait, let me do it. Hold on. Take a look at this. This is the prompt. It says, discuss both views and give your opinion. Now, since you've taken the IELTS several times, I assume that you are familiar with the band descriptors, right? So I just want to kind of remind you that if you look at band 7 under task 2, under task response, you'll see that there is a bullet which says presents a clear position throughout the response. Okay, so let's kind of dissect that and talk about what it means. A clear position is your answer to whatever this command is. As you know, each essay has a command, it has a question, something that you are being asked to talk about. It is really important that this is clear throughout the response, okay? Whatever your response to that is. So then let's talk about what throughout means. Well, throughout means from the beginning to the end. So how should you interpret that? If they ask you to discuss both views and give your opinion, it means that they want to know your opinion from the introduction. That's really the easiest, clearest way to make sure that your position is clear throughout. All right? So it's not enough to just say that you're going to look at both sides of the argument. Because if you do that, I'm probably not going to be clear about your position until I get to your conclusion. Okay, I hope that that makes sense. I think that that's an easy fix. I think it's something you can probably incorporate rather easily. So why don't we move on, okay? On the one hand, the English language seems, yes, okay, to have become the internationally most accepted language of all. When people are traveling to any part of the world, it seems that if one can't communicate in English, then one will most likely be able to get around and not go hungry. With this, it is not just a language that travels to remote places, but also Anglo culture and colloquialisms. English pop culture and international brands will often become a household name. Who has not heard of McDonald's, for example? Okay, so what I'm seeing the problem is here, Christine, is that this is really rather off topic. You've taken this idea of spreading ideas, language, and culture, which were written about in the prompt. Let's just, you know what? Let me open this up a little bit so we can see this all at the same time. I can't do that. Okay. Anyway, so you're focusing on spreading language and culture, but you haven't focused on international marketing. Right? So where is international marketing in this? And am I supposed to understand here that this is the positive side or is this the negative side? So it really feels rather off topic. If I were going to be scoring this as an examiner, no, it wouldn't get a 7 because it's not answering the question. You're answering something really rather different. You focus just on this word language and not on the fact that we're talking about international marketing. Okay? And quite frankly, I can't detect what your central idea is here. Your central idea is really important. Again, if you look at now coherence and cohesion, you'll see that the band descriptor says you need to have a central idea that's clear. And I can't detect one here. All I know is that you're talking about how ubiquitous the English language and culture are around the world. I don't know if you're talking about that in a favorable kind of way or if you're talking about why that's negative. In any case, it's still not about international marketing. And so that really does pose a big problem. Okay? Let's take a look at your next paragraph. On the other hand, communist countries will not necessarily appreciate this kind of influence. They will want their people, you want to be careful here. Uh, just communist countries, this is really rather limiting. It's a little bit of a generalization, so you want to be careful with this kind of statement. You could have said something like, just be a little more vague. So you could have said, on the other hand, some countries will not necessarily appreciate this kind of influence. They will want their people to believe in their homemade brands or ideologies, as it is, of course, not only language and brand new ideas that are coming into a country, but also ideologies. Often these ideas are not seen as positive or advantageous by certain leaders. Additionally, with any new trends, older, more traditional values can fade. This might be seen as an unwanted byproduct of marketing in general, Western ideologies taking over. Okay, careful, this isn't a full sentence. You should have had a semicolon here, and then this would have been okay. All right, so what I'm seeing, Christine, is a lot of really, really, really lovely language, really lovely vocabulary, really lovely grammar. It reads very naturally and it's at a nice high level. But while you were clear here, it was obvious you were talking about negative. There's very, very little about international marketing. Okay? You're really just talking about certain countries being against basically westernization. And again, that's not what you're being asked to talk about here. Okay? So, if we continue to work together, I really want you to focus on the task and on what they're asking you and writing very, very tightly related to what they're asking you and not just something kind of related similar to what they're asking you. All right? Because I can see that your language level is very high. It's really wonderful, but I think that the way you're developing your topic is really doing you a disservice. Okay? So let's take a look at your conclusion. In conclusion, although I do believe that marketing can be a valuable tool to educate people and develop ideas and concepts, if it is done too aggressively, it can have detrimental effects on other cultures and therefore has to be done very cautiously. Okay, so I had no idea that this was your viewpoint until that very last paragraph. So as I think we can pretty much say clearly, this essay, even though really well written as far as language is concerned, has a lot of flaws in terms of task achievement and coherence and cohesion. Okay, because as I said, your central idea was not clear in your body paragraphs. It also wasn't really tightly focused on international marketing, but really rather on westernization. It felt like it was like the positives of westernization and the negatives of westernization, but definitely not marketing. So that pretty much brings us to the end of this correction. I don't want you to get discouraged. In fact, I want you to feel encouraged about this because what we're really talking about here is test taking skills. And we've found that these test taking skills are actually some of the easiest to acquire, far easier than grammar or vocabulary. So I think that with in a short time you can overcome these issues and get the score you need. So you'll see in the email there'll be a link to continue working with us. There are different options that you can look into. I really want to encourage you to do that. I'd love to help get you that 7 that has eluded you so far. So hopefully we'll get to see more of your work in the future. I look forward to it certainly. Okay, so best of luck to you.